Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, December 14th. It is 6:17 right now. Market's in open in about 13 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, I gotta do this authentication process real quick. Sorry, guys, I haven't been on my laptop since the last time I traveled, so it's been a while. All right, got that authenticated. Let's get it right there. All right, well, looks like there might be some issues here with the YouTube. Let's see if I can get this going. All right, let's go there. And try to bear with me, guys. I forgot my mouse in my office, so I'm gonna have to use this trackpad for our live session today. Got a couple things here. So you're probably gonna hear me clicking around pretty much all session. All right, looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, I think links all sent out. Looks like we are good to go. All right. There we go. All right. So good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, December 14th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's in the open in about 8 minutes. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, Kenny. Thanks for the heads up. Morning, David. Morning, everybody. I think everyone in the Zoom is still catching up here. So guys, please try and bear with me. I forgot my mouse in my office. So I'm using a trackpad right now on my laptop. I haven't used my laptop since the last time I traveled, which was a while back. So it's gonna be it'll be fine. It's just gonna take me a little longer to mark up things here. It shouldn't be too difficult, but me trying to navigate through this is just it's gonna be a learning curve for me here. Let me just clean this up a little bit right here. All right, guys. So good morning, everybody. Looks like Eunice is here. Morning, Eunice. Morning, Craig. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Lila. Morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm here in Hawaii right now, guys. So time difference here is super different. I actually woke up an hour earlier because it was a 3-hour difference in the summer. And here, non-daylight savings time, it is 2-hour difference. So it's not super bad. I woke up an hour earlier. I was trading my Forex account because obviously I don't like trading US30 when the market's slow. I'm currently up about 1,000 right now on my Forex account. You guys can see right here. I took GU, AU, and EU. Right here, I'm up 910. It's pretty much fluctuating between 900 and 1,000, which is pretty good. I mean, I took these trades. These are like swing trades. I'm up about 10% on my account. You can see my account here. I started with 10,000. I'm almost up to 11,000. So almost up 10% on my Forex account. So pretty solid. Other than that, let me go back to our US30 here. So I'm marking up liquidity on the daily, going down to the 8-hour, going down to the 4-hour. So it's not going to be super difficult for me to use this trackpad. It's just going to be a little more time consuming for me to move around. I'm just going to not mark up every single liquidity because it's not super necessary. Go down to the 30-minute. It's just drawing the structures is going to take a little more time, but it's not like I haven't done this before. This brings me back to like my old school trading days when I like only traded on the laptop. I didn't really invest in any mouse and stuff like that. All right, so we got pretty much all the levels of liquidity marked up right there. Closest level of liquidity is going to be up here at 37,696. If there's any issues with the audio, guys, just let me know. I think the audio actually might be better because in my office it's so big that you guys hear an echo. I'm here in my suite right now. You guys can kind of see my background over here in the video. There's not very much echo. And I think it's good on my laptop too. Laptop has good speakers or good microphones. So first level of liquidity is going to be up here at 37,696. Next level of liquidity down below is going to be at 37,558 down here. So we got 2 levels of liquidity from both sides right here. Let's go over to our clean chart. So from our clean chart right here, we've got 6:30 and 8 o'clock. We go on the 4-hour real quick, see if there's any structure here that we can draw up. Oh, crap. Let me just clean this all up. All right, we're good. Go back to the 1 minute. Draw that there. 8 over here. Kenneth's asking what strategy am I using? It's pretty much just a V1 variation with momentum, basically. Doing V1 variations from side to side, it's just swing trade. So if I see a V1 variation in one direction, I'll take it in the other direction, V1 in the other direction, I'll close out of that position, swing over to the other. So that's all I'm doing on here, but I'm trading on the higher time frame. So it's just a swing trade. I just take like I don't take one trade a day, but I pretty much just make adjustments once a day on market switch. So super simple. It's actually really simple because you just trade on the daily. So it's like once a day, if any, and super straightforward. So choosing momentum and the V1 together. So let's see if there's any structure here that I can draw. Looks like there's one up here. Use this magnet tool, kind of help me out a little bit. Go down to the 1 hour. There's not really much new structure, same structure from yesterday. And I think that's about it. All right, so that's currently the clean chart right there, as you guys can see. Got this right there for resistance level. Their price again is at the 4-hour resistance. So, I mean, we'll see how that plays. I think there was some news today too. Let me check the calendar real quick. So we had news. Oh man, my thing is all screwed up. Let me fix this real quick. Yeah, as you guys can tell, I haven't used my laptop in a long time. So a lot of the stuff here is like kind of irrelevant stuff. Okay, so we had news over here at 5:30, which is basically time zone should still be good on my chart. So we had high impact news here at 5:30, all bullish. Go and draw this. 5:30. Right there. Sure, there's nothing on the chart. Let me clean this up a little bit. I want to make sure there's nothing on the chart. I was kind of trading at the airport too, so I kind of have some markups, but just clean that up. Shouldn't really get in the way though. 5:30. And then I think we have news here at 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock, 7:30, medium to low impact news. Not really a big deal. So got news. 7 o'clock. 7:30. Oh, this chart. Man, I never realized how much easier it is when you have a mouse. I was thinking about it too. Like when I left the live session yesterday, that was like the last that and a keyboard. It's all good. We'll make it work. All right, guys. So looking at this right here, we currently have I think we have a bullish bias again. So retail sentiment's currently 75% short. This indicates that 75% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently, 500 points. Okay, so they're pretty much flat right now, but it's bullish, of course. Market is now open, guys. Where's my countdown at? Move this over here. Over. All right, guys, market is now open. And it looks like we are good to go. So market is open right here. This is the opening candle. Again, like I said, it's going to be a little hectic because I got to like, it's hard for me to move this mouse around quickly. Oh, this blue. All right, so we don't have any trades right here right now at the moment. The closest thing that we can possibly look for would be the breakouts. So see if we can find one here. My ability to ensure the breakout is going to depend on whether it's around the red flags. So obviously there's a lot of it's not a lot of red flags, but depending on which direction price goes, to the bottom side, there's a lot of red flags. You have opening price, Asia low, New York high. On the upside, we have the Asia high right here. So I mean, depending on where it's at, might take it for partial or just might not even take it at all and just look for the continuation. So it's kind of like, it's a case, it's going to be on a case by case basis, depending on where price, where the entry ends up happening. So, if I see something that looks good, I'll let you guys know. But again, I'll have to like kind of let you know when the entry actually comes up because it's going to be hard for me to tell from here. So the first level of liquidity just got hit down below right here, full TP. If anybody took it, I marked it up right here. So price came down, blasted right through, then it shot right back up. So lower level of liquidity got hit right there. It might come back down for a retest. So if you want to get into that later for the retest down below for the continuation, there's going to be another level down below there. So if you guys want to continue following it, feel free. I think if it does come back down to that area and actually breaks through and you have some type of entry, it'll probably continue dropping. But other than that, I think that's it for right now. All right. Yeah, and then on here in the live stream, you might see my screen might look a little bit smaller or a lot of it smaller because yeah, I mean this is the biggest iMac or MacBook Pro that I could get. I think it's like 20 inches or 18 inches compared to my desktop at home, which is like 27 inches, 30 inches. So yeah, I think it's a little better though, so it's not so super zoomed out, but you guys can pretty much see what's going on here. Anyways, there's no entries for us right now, guys. ATR is currently 19, so it's pretty high. We might be able to actually, yeah, we might be able to look for some momentum pullback scalps if price continues to drop lower, because we don't have the setup here right now, but it might be setting up. In a few. So the trend here has not yet confirmed, but I think if it closes down below here again, there might be a possibility. You just got to wait for these pivots here to shift over. So there might be a momentum pullback scalp setting up right there. There's no high-low scalp setting up right now anytime soon. Levels down here, so it's kind of far off. All right, so yeah, if you guys want to take the momentum pullback scalp, it looks like it's already, or it might be a little too late at this point, guys. Sorry, it happened super quick. So I don't know if anybody was able to catch that, but this is kind of what I was referring to. So I mentioned right here, I said if the pivots cross, the entry would happen right there, and it happened super quick. You know, it pulled up, filled, and then went straight down. I wasn't able to catch it, of course. I could barely move my mouse fast enough without my actual computer mouse from screen to screen. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. But this is what we were looking for. We had price pushed down. We had the retracement right here. The trend wasn't confirmed yet, so we waited for another retracement. Price came down. This green candle right here retraced again, came up to that level right there, the 90 mark, filled it, and went straight to TP. So if anybody took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. We'll just wait for the retracement and continuation on the next move back down. So that's the first entry that came up for today, which is a momentum pullback scalp. Unfortunately, it happened really fast, so I couldn't move fast enough to go from this screen to my other screen right here to take the trade, but it's all good. ATR is pretty nice. So you're probably gonna get more entries as we continue along. There's no high-low scalps here, as you guys can see. High-low level is pretty far down below. I don't really like using the ones that happen pre-market, so I only use the ones after market is open, which would be this level down here. So we'll see if we get a correction back up, or if price continues to drop, that's fine as well. This right here is actually no, this would be the breakout right here. So the original breakout is currently running right now. We had a sell signal here, price broke below. This is the opening candle, the green candle. This red candle right here, the second red candle, is a confirmation of the breakout version 1. So the original breakout right here is the first strong red candle following the momentum signal. Market open right here on the green candle. This wasn't a strong red candle. This one was a strong red candle. So there's technically, this is the original breakout that is currently running active right now. The original breakout is a 25-25 move, so it's a quicker move. It's not for the full 30 like the breakout V3, and it is currently running in profit right now. If you guys are not in the position, I don't recommend entering it late, because obviously it's already in profit, so there's no need to FOMO into an entry like this. If anything, I would just wait for the breakout V3 to either confirm a continuation or maybe even reversal. So, all right, that's that for now. See these real quick. So here are my Forex positions that I just referred to earlier, guys. I'm up about 1,000 on my Forex account. This is my personal account, forex.com. I just put 10,000 in this account like a couple days ago, and now it's up like 10%. I take these swing trades on this account. They're not really scalping because it's kind of hard to scalp on forex.com due to the spread and leverage. So I just took some swing trades. I'm up about 1,000 right here. Pretty much paying for my vacation, which is solid. I'll keep this here until I have to turn it over. And then once I turn it over, I'll close out of the positions and swing to the other side. But I'm not really teaching the strategy here, guys. As I mentioned, I'm planning on opening a hedge fund. These are the hedge fund type entries because they're swing. They don't really like, they're kind of trades I take once a day, or if I do have to make adjustments happen once a day. And I just let them run. So these trades have been running up about 1,000. If I had more money in this account, like for example, if I had 100,000 in this account, I'd be up like 9,000 to whatever. But I'll just keep putting money in this account as price continues to, or once I get proof of concept that it works very well. So there goes a breakout V1, guys. Full TP right there. If anybody caught it, I went straight through. So if anyone caught that breakout V1 or the momentum pullback scalp, two entries which have came up today during this live session, nice work. I didn't take any of those positions, so none of them are going to count as official trades, but we did mark them up there for you guys for whoever decided to take them and catch them. They just happened too quickly, so I wasn't able to get into them at that specific time. The ATR is super high though, so might be able to see a lot of follow-up here. Looks like the second level of liquidity here got hit as well. So if you guys took the lower level down here, blasted right through. Okay, so a lot of trades are hitting today, guys. So there goes the breakout V2, or sorry, the liquidity. Breakout V2 hasn't come up yet. Maddie's looking for reversal. So Maddie mentioned that he's looking for a V1 variation followed by, say, a breakout V3 continuation, or even a breakout V3 in general. It hasn't came up yet. High-low scalp here just played through. Hoping to catch something today on this account. My Forex accounts are looking good, but I'm also looking for something over here as well on my US30, of course. We do have a directional market, so it's looking pretty solid. We'll continue looking for entries here. There's no momentum pullback scalp yet. We have to get a retracement, which is a green buy signal, before we can start looking for a continuation back down. Which is fine because you can see how far price is overextended right here. Price is down pretty much 2,000 pips. It's down super heavy right now. So yeah, I guess we're going to wait for this here. Check all the other time frames real quick. So looking over here, the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute are all bearish. The 30 minute here is pretty much neutral. 1 hour, 4 hours is still bullish. So price can really go in either direction right now, guys. There's not really much of a very strong bias one way or the other. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 34 points. That's pretty much neutral right now. Retail sentiment is 76%. Things are starting to balance out. So sentiment here is starting to kind of shorten a little bit. It was like 80% yesterday, went down to 78. Now it's 76. Yeah, and we'll just follow along and see where it goes. So there's no need to really like have too strong of a bias. I think the V1 variations aren't really going to be too helpful today because there's not much of a bias. You need to have a bias in order to take those V1 variations. So I would use the V1 variations as a confluence and then use maybe like a V3 continuation on the breakout for the actual entry, like what Maddie was mentioning. Just want to be careful with these types of markets, guys, because a lot of news has came up, in the past couple of days. This is Fed week, I believe. Yeah, Fed week. So the interest rate news came out yesterday. I believe it was flat, but they did announce that they plan on cutting rates next year. So they're dovish, which is good for the economy. So good outlook, but not necessarily good right now because the cuts have not happened yet. They're going to happen next year. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on. Let me see the news calendar to see if there was anything else that was released today. So we had retail sales, export prices, import prices. Everything was positive though. So it doesn't really matter what news came out. It's just high impact news and it was all positive. So price kind of came up super heavily right here. And then price corrected right back down. And then now we're going to have a correction right back up, right? So price is pretty much, it went in the direction it was supposed to, retracement, and now correction right back up. So price will probably continue climbing, but it's just going to be a matter of time until it confirms. ATR is pretty high right now. It's currently at 23. We couldn't even break 15 yesterday. It was all super flat. And yeah, now price is starting to make its climb a bit higher. We have a pending buy signal here. Hasn't closed yet. It's a little tricky because it's right at the sessions. Here's our clean chart. Oh, it actually came back. It came down pretty far. This area right here was the 1 hour support. So price might be trying to break above that and continuing to climb. So if we get a buy signal here, and then, but if it breaks above the, I'm hoping if we get a buy signal here, it breaks above the sessions, because you can see right here, it's having trouble getting past it, right? So what I'm kind of hoping for here is I'm looking for price to break and close above the sessions and then provide a green candle so that we can take that continuation up to opening price back to open, right? If it closes below it, it's going to be tough because the entry candle is going to be touching the sessions, and I don't really mess with that, right? You guys remember what happened on Monday. You know, I took a trade there. I don't know if anybody else did, but I took a trade that was touching the sessions, and we got caught with like the nastiest fake out. So just want to be a little careful here. You want to make sure that buy signal actually breaks and closes past the sessions. I'm not too concerned with like opening price and news price. I'm more concerned with the sessions. The sessions are more risky because you guys can see right here, it's pretty clear where the manipulation happens. It happens at the sessions. So yeah, Maddie said he's looking for the same exact thing, buy a signal above the sessions, which you guys can see here. It's not looking so great. The sessions they're just a nasty area to be trading in. You can see right there the volatility is starting to, because it's just kind of consolidating around that area. Looking at our clean chart here, I think our clean chart is probably going to be our best friend looking at this manipulation, because you can see that the sessions actually sits at the 1 hour level support. So you see where price is sitting. It's sitting within the support level. And realistically, the sessions are really the support levels right there. So support levels right there and sessions right there. We got the Asia low and we got the New York high. Okay, so this kind of sucks. Yeah, this kind of sucks here because the buy signal didn't break and close above it. It's going to be very tricky for this entry here. If you guys do decide to take it, you know, just understand the risks. But I mean, it could play out. I'm not going to say it's not going to play out. So if you guys want to take it, it's up to you guys. You just got to understand the risks of this trade here. So I'm going to consider this maybe like, I'll consider it like a 6 out of 10 type entry. So it's not a super good entry, but I wouldn't say it's a horrible entry as well. So if you guys want to take it, you know, we'll follow it and we'll see where it goes. I don't even know if this is even in close green. Let's see. What is this right here? My MT4 gave me some kind of error. Yeah, I was trying to get into the trade too. And it gave me some stupid error. Fuck it, it hit TP too, man. What a trash. What a trash. Time for my stupid laptop not to work. It's all good. Damn, that would have been such a good trade too. It is what it is. Man, I was not expecting my stupid laptop to. Now I got to take a tester trade to see if it actually works. I should have taken a tester trade before this live session, but it's all good. So full TP right there. I tried to, you guys saw the error that came up on my screen. It said something about live trading is not allowed. I don't get that, but all right. Yeah, so full TP right there, guys. As you guys can see, price is now at opening price. And it's starting to climb up a little higher from where it's currently at. So let's see if it continues to climb up from where it is. Okay, so this is actually the breakout. The breakout's currently running right now, and the breakout the breakout V3 and the breakout V2 is currently running right now. So we got two entries that are running alongside each other. We have the breakout, which is right here, breakout V3, and then we have the breakout V2, which is right next to it right here. Yeah, pretty much two trades running alongside each other right there. It's a little tricky where it's currently at, but that is where it should be. See if I can maybe get into this here. I'm gonna put a pending order right here. See if I can get into this. For a partial, it's currently at opening price, so yeah, it's kind of too late for entry. Where's the other one at? It's at opening price right there. So if it continues to climb up solid, let's put a pending order there to see if I can maybe catch it as it swings up. But of course, I'm going to be a little careful with the entry here. Yeah, Jonathan said too many red flags. Yeah, it's just kind of tricky where it's currently at because I mean obviously you guys can see where price is sitting right now. It's not necessarily in the best location because it's at opening price, which is also considered a red flag, and it's also at the news price right there. So I'm not in the position yet. I'm still trying to figure out where my entry would be at. I was waiting for it to pull back like where it's currently at right now, and then now I can possibly place the pending order at the V2 point right here. So maybe catch it for like a small, 100 pip move or something like that. So let me see if I can put the pending order now. Price for entry would be at the big green candle, which is this arrow tool at? Big green candle. And I don't have enough screen space. I got too much stuff here. Chart, let me move this over. Can't see the price. Let's see, if it pulls down too far, I'm probably just going to cancel the order. But it's going to be at this big green candle, which is at 37,191 on FTMO. So I'm not in the position here, but I am kind of just watching here to see if I can get in for a late entry as price. Now it's bouncing off the sessions, as you guys can see. So let me see if I get that pending order in there. Remember why I hate trading on the laptop. It's so hard to make adjustments. It's bouncing directly off the sessions right here. I think if if a V1 sets up here, this might push all the way back up. A V1 followed by like a V3 type entry. So continue following it right here. My entry point is going to be somewhere above here, guys, at the breakout V2. I don't want to get in too early because I don't want to get caught in like any fake outs here. But this here could be setting up for some sort of variation pattern. And that will be like basically the reversal side with a continuation up higher. I tried to enter earlier for the V3 that came up over here, but I didn't have the opportunity because of my MT4 gave me some error. Basically said I couldn't trade on a live account, which is weird. I think I had to enable something, but I think now it's going to work because I have the pending order set. So it's still not in the position. Again, if this doesn't come back up, I'm just going to cancel it. Yeah, I'm probably just going to cancel it here. It's not in a good area. But this earlier trade would have been good. So this is the one that I try to get into from the V3. unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into it because obvious reasons here. You guys saw the error. So let me just show you the trade that I'm pretty sure most of you guys know where I was going to get in from. So it wasn't these entries here. It was basically, so not this one, not the higher one, but the entry that I wanted to take was down here for 100, of course. So this would have been the entry that I would have taken. There was a buy signal, the V3 variation right here. The full move would have been for 300, but as I mentioned, it's risky, the area right here to be trading in. So I would have only taken it for 100. But yeah, that was the one that I tried to get into. I got the error. And then I tried to get into this later one, but price never came back up. So I just canceled it. Because I was going to get into this one up here as price swung back up, but I didn't. So, and price is coming back up now. I'm just going to cancel my order though, because price came down too far. And now I'm just going to wait. So let's see. The bummer. That would have been a good 100 pips there, and I could have just been good for the day, but it's all good. Wait for the next one here. See how my Forex trades are running. So my Forex trades are looking really good. You can see I'm up 1,100 now. So at least I'm in profit somewhere. I'm up 1,100 right here. You guys can see on this is my personal account on forex.com. I just put in a 10,000 in this account, small account. I'm up 11,000 now. So pretty solid, a 10% on my Forex account. These trades were just sitting for a while. Profits are obviously not as big, but sit nicely. All right, so now I got to wait for another entry. There's a V1 variation setting up right here. There may be another opportunity here for entry. If this here ends up closing. So we got a V1 variation set up right here, double body rejection. If we get a buy signal with a green candle following it, it might be a continuation. So I'm not going to take the V1 because there's no V1 right now. Of course, there's no bias, but there's other types of opportunities that may arise from right here. Looking over here for the high-low scalps, there's not really much high-low scalps to take. I mean, if anything, it might happen right here down below if it does break below, but at the moment, there's nothing there. It's also at a red flag, so it's not really a good area. In my opinion. All right, so we got that buy signal right there coming up. See what's going on here. All right, so again here, if this candle closes, this might be a breakout V3 continuation. I don't know if my trades are going to go through though, because I had that error from earlier. Might have to get this fixed, which is fine. I should have fixed it before we got on this live session, but it's all good. I wasn't expecting to get into any issues because I've traded on this laptop before when I was trading the hedge account. So there goes another breakout V3 right there. Fortunately, I got another error, so it's all good. Got an error on my end, guys. So unfortunately, I couldn't get into that trade there. But another V3 variation right there. So full TP right there if anybody got into it. I guess we can count these trades that I'm like calling out that I plan on taking, but not I can't take them obviously. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else caught that one right there, but that one was pretty smooth. It was exactly what we were looking for. Same thing. We had the V1 variation followed by a V1 variation reversal pattern right here. And it was followed by a breakout V3, which is right here. So it played out perfect, exactly what we were looking for. I think this is like the ideal entry. If you guys are ever looking for an entry that's going to be pretty solid, look for the V1 variation, which is going to establish the bottom or the top. So right here, price came up, retraced, established a bottom right here, which is a support level. And then we had the continuation right here with the buy signal, followed by a green candle, breakout V3 continuation straight to the top. So nice work right there. Camo caught it. He got 14 points off that. Jamie got it as well. Nice work, Jamie. Unfortunately, I didn't get it because my MT4 is kind of screwed right now, but it's all good. It looks like I can't take any trades off my Forex accounts today, which is completely fine. Kind of sucks because we had two good entries here that have been too smooth back-to-back full TPs. But it's all good. So I'll just copy this. I'll copy both of these right here so that you guys can see, you know, which trades came up. There's two trades that came up right here during our live session that I hoped to take, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get into. So there goes the first one right here. So first one over here, which was the breakout B3 partial. That was the first one. And the second one right here that I was hoping to take, which happened right after. So I'll continue to look for entries here, guys. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get into these trades with you guys today on my end because my MT4 is kind of screwed up. But I'll try to, hopefully I'll get this fixed by tomorrow so that I can take these trades with you guys. But I'll tell you guys what I think is good and what I think is obviously risky. There's another V1 pattern here setting up, but there's no buy signal. So there's not going to be any room for entry at this point. But another V1 pattern, which is a double body below. So we got news right here. Maddie said he's going to look for the news entry, which I think is solid. Yeah, go ahead and look for that, Maddie. So we got the news candle right here. News was positive. Thanks for covering that, Maddie. I was going to ask you. It's hard for me to switch back and forth between the screens right here. So, all right, the news was positive, like Maddie said. I'll go there and take a look. Medium impact news, business inventories, positive news. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for the manipulation down. I want price to come down as heavy as possible, maybe down here. And then if price breaks above, then great, you know, take entry right there as price breaks above structure. So that's going to be one opportunity for entry if price breaks above structure. And then also if you want a V1, you could look for a V1 pattern that happens a little later. But you do want price to come down. So either come down, break below structure, and then come back above off one of these basically red flags, the session high lows, or look for a V1 that happens somewhere down here and look for the continuation back up. The ATR is pretty nice right now, so it kind of sucks that I can't take any of these trades with you guys, but the ATR is super nice right now, as you guys can see. It's currently 22. This is like, you don't really see this very often right now because we've been in a sideways market, but last week was good. You know, it's above 20 pretty much every day. And right here, it's also looking good. Yeah, Maddie said he wants it to drop to the New York sessions, which I 100% agree with. I think price, you know, if price does drop down to that point, it's going to be pretty solid. And then we'll probably get a, you know, obviously a continuation back to the upside. So we'll see where this goes. Nick's asking, are you using the FTMO quick trade manager? I mean, I was using it. That's where I had the issue, Nick. So, I mean, I typically, yeah, all my trades are taken on that quick trade manager, but I'm on the laptop right now. So I had an error, which is weird because I didn't have the error before. I think it's because I was switching between accounts. Unless I'm logged into the wrong account here on my MT4, which could be the case. I was trading the hedge account on this empty on my laptop. So I had my my hedge fund account on here. I can't really tell because everything's blocked off. I got so much stuff on my screen over here. Cam was asking V3 sell. I mean, yeah, it's a V3 sell setting up, but not one that I would take because it's at this obvious red flag right here, the sessions. The sessions are where you want to avoid, Camo. I said, like, you know, the news price over here and opening price is kind of okay, but the sessions is definitely where you want to avoid because that's where the manipulation happens. Manipulation happens on all these levels, but the sessions here are a lot more riskier compared to the other lines here. So yeah, I mean, there's a V3 sell coming up right there for the breakout V3, but I wouldn't take it because it's at the sessions. Sessions is like one that you probably would want to avoid. Yeah, the V1 body here might be coming up, Maddie. So if that's the case, we might get a correction back to the upside. Let me see how far price might go up from there. Yeah, pretty solid push to the upside. If you get that V1 pattern plus correction or like fake out from the sessions down below right here. Yeah, just keep that in mind, Camo. Either avoid all red flags, you know, avoid all of the horizontal lines, or if you want to take something that's like still kind of risky, but you know, possible decent move, then you could probably look for just avoid the sessions for the most part. So the red, purple, and green lines, those are going to be the sessions. So we got the V1 right here that Maddie was looking for. This would be the news entry. I think it's kind of risky, but if you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys here. This would be the news entry. I think it's probably going to play up and then go straight to opening price, or at least close to it. This would be the news entry right here for the 7 o'clock news. And it's already in profit pretty nice right now. So we got the news candle, which was right here at 7 o'clock. Price came down in manipulation. We got the V1 variation right there, and it also broke above the sessions. So it's basically like a 2-for-1 confluence at that point. So, I mean, price might go up, but again, it's like just a little risky because of like where it's currently at, you know, at the sessions. But I mean, it might just continue going up. It's just, you would need some space there to really eat the little fake outs and stuff that happen here. I think if price breaks above this session right here, it'll probably push up higher. So I do consider this risky, but this is the news entry. If you guys are looking to take it, you just need to have enough ability to eat any drawdown that comes up right here, because it might pull down even lower before going up. So, but if it does break past the structure here, the sessions, then I think it's for sure going to continue climbing at that point. But I mean, who really knows, you know, what's going to happen from here? So, yeah. It's just in a tricky area because of the sessions right there. So I'm not in this position here. I consider this a risky trade. This is a news entry. If you guys remember the news correction entry that we discussed before, you probably need like a wider stop loss for this because the volatility is so high. When we came up with the strategies when the volatility was kind of low, and you can see over here that price is, you know, climbing back up at this point if you do get another V1 variation. Because then again, you know, there's going to be a second entry point. So the initial entry point would have happened up here, and the second entry point would have happened, obviously, you know, down below. There's 2 entry points that happen. That's the first one. And the second entry, if you waited longer, would maybe be happening right here if another V1 pattern sets up. So there's basically 2 different entry points for this specific strategy here, just depending on how long you're willing to wait for the pullback. If it doesn't close green, which it didn't, there was no opportunity there. Yeah, exactly. There's just a lot of different entries here that so there was no entry there. I mean, the first entry point is still probably running, but again, it's just kind of tricky because it can keep dropping further. Yeah, so again, right here, that's why I was saying it was risky, because for one, it happened like around all this whole area of sessions, and then I don't feel like it dropped far enough based off the news. So the news happened right here at 7 o'clock. Price kind of came up slightly, then it dropped down super hard, and then now it's obviously down here. Because the farther the retracement, the better, of course, as you guys know, because you're just looking for the bottom to be established and then the correction back up from this point here. Let's see how far it's dropped from this point. So news candle is right here, because the bigger gap you have, the bigger opportunity you have for entry. So right now it's dropped maybe like 700 pips. Yeah, about 700 pips from the news price right here at 7 o'clock. Let me see how big was it. So the news wasn't really that huge. It was like a medium impact news event. You know, what might happen is price might continue dropping a little bit more. And then once this news comes out right here at 7:30, it'll probably continue climbing up. But all the news for today is pretty much positive. So you should expect a correction to happen at some point, whenever that may be. But again, I'm going to try to, well, obviously I'm going to avoid trades that happen within the sessions right here. It's just tricky. You guys can see how the manipulation happens. Price comes down. It looked like price was going to swing back up to open, or opening, or not open, but news price. And then it ended up faking out even further down. But eventually I do expect it to swing back up. You know, price might even come back to this lower low and then swing all the way back up. You guys can see the clean chart over here. It's a bit of a mess. I mean, it keeps pulling around this area here. If anything, I might delete this 1 hour support and then just draw the 1 minute structures. Yeah, I think this would be a little better. So I'll draw structure right here for the 1 minute. And then I'll draw structure right here as well for the 1 minute. Yeah, so you guys can see the structure. Like, this is basically the middle point, the 1 hour support level, but this is the real range in between this area. So 1 hour support level right there. Then we've got the 1 minute resistance level. And then we've got the 1 minute support level. So the range is happening between these two levels right here. This is like midpoint, which is the 1 hour support. But realistically, it's going between these two areas down here. There's another V1 right here. So this might be the actual opportunity for it to swing up. It's just a little tricky. But again, yeah, regardless of the fact, I still can't really take any entries with you guys because of my MT4. Kenny said, try this, go to MT4, tools, options, then enable. Gosh, I'll try that out, Kenna. So let me try that out. Kenny said, don't want you to not be able to trade today. Yeah, no, me too, because there's a lot of entries that are coming up. So unfortunately, I can't get into any entries here on my MT4. But all right, I'll try that out, Kenny. And then we'll do it. We'll give it one more shot. If it doesn't work again this time, I'll just have to figure it out later, which is fine. I mean, as long as you guys are profiting, that's the key thing here that I'm looking for. I don't really care if I'm profiting, because I'm going to profit regardless, whether it be in a different market or whether it be tomorrow. I'm going to make profit this week regardless. I'm already up actually for the week, so it's not a big deal that I'm missing today. It would be nice to have those two wins though. It's like a free, what was it, 2K? So like 2,000 times 5, like a free 10K right there. Because there's two entries that came up and they're all smooth full TPs. The news entry again is running down here, guys. So there's a lot of different opportunities for the news entry. Like I mentioned, price came down below here. There was a double body right here for the rejection, or for the reversal, basically. News happened here at 7 o'clock. Price came down. News was positive. You have a double body rejection right here. This is it's establishing the bottom. If you think this is too risky, which I personally think it's too risky, I think the V1 variations are like, it's like a double-edged sword. The V1 variations are super profitable, but they're also super risky because you might get in a little too early, might get in a little too late. But if you follow up with a breakout V3 continuation, so you have the reversal pattern right here, double body rejection for a V1. If you get a buy signal and then you get a green candle following it, then at that point, you're like, yeah, for sure, it's going to possibly push up to opening price or news price. So two different opportunities right there. Maddie also mentioned here, thanks for confirming that too, Maddie. So the reason why the V1 variation is very risky right now specifically is because there's no bias, right? Maddie said need a bias to be strong for the V1 alone. So the V1 by itself is just, there's no V1s right now. Like being straight up, there's just no V1s because there's no bullish bias. That's why you can use it as a confluence, but I wouldn't use it as a standalone entry. Because you can see again right here is a V1 and there's another V1 right here, double V1s. It looks like the volatility is starting to kind of slow down a bit because you can see how price is going sideways. And if this is the case, it's getting close to 7:30 our time in California. 7:30 California, what time is it here? 5:13. It's a 2-hour difference. So as you guys know, I've been discussing this over the past couple of weeks. It's 7:13 right now. The ATR is currently 20. As we get closer to 7:30, you'll start to see the ATR right here to start to kind of dwindle down. It's at 20 right now. You'll probably see it go down to 15, go down from 15 to 13. And at that point, there's just no opportunities, right? So just be careful with your entry points here. Let's see. Kevin is asking if, all right, let me scroll up real quick. Sorry, I missed a lot of your guys' questions because of my computer here. So let's see. First question over here was from Oscar. Oscar's asking is there a high-low V2 running for a sell? Let me check that real quick. So let's see. Price broke below, came back up. Yeah. So there is one running right now for a sell, as Oscar mentioned. For me personally, again, I think it's a little risky, mainly because of the sessions. But yeah, it is. I think it already hit TP, Oscar. Damn, man. The one day all the entries are hitting, I'm like missing them all because my MC4 is not working. So this is actually a really good day for trading if you guys are able to catch these and identify these. But you guys can see that there was a high-low V2, high-low scalp V2 right here. It was at the session, so it was a little risky because it happened around that area. But you can see that it went straight down to TP. We had price break and close right here with this red candle, faked out right here on this green one. Price came back down. Perfect entry right there, kind of danced around here a bit, and then went straight to TP. So, yeah, I don't know if you caught that, Oscar, or if anybody caught that, but but yeah, that thing hit pretty nice. There was like no drawdown. Went straight to TP. Yeah, Oscar said I didn't take it, but it let me know to not take the news trade. Yeah, no, definitely. So it was going against each other. There's two strategies there that are kind of running against each other. But again, this area here is very tricky because when price gets down to the sessions, price can really go either way. So you might have two different entries running opposite of each other. You have the high-low scalp V2. I would take the high-low scalp V2 over the news entry. So if you were to have like an actual, like if you were to compare the new strategy with like, say, a breakout V3 or a V1 variation that's actually valid, or a high-low scalp, right? I would take the high-low scalp over the news trade. The news trade is just a speculative trade. It's something that you don't know exactly where to get in from. The lower, the better, but there's no set place where you're like, okay, I got to enter right here specifically because the strategy is so subjective. It just depends on how low you want to get in from, which obviously the lowest, the better. But if you wait too long, you might miss the entire entry from there. So yeah, it's just too tricky, the news entry. That's why for the news entry, I don't know if I'll introduce that as like an official strategy because I think it's too tricky. We don't know exactly where to get in, right? There's two different places to get in from a V1, but it's like, okay, which V1 do I take? The first one, the second one, the third one, or if price breaks past structure, what if this happens right here where price does break past structure, but when it does break past structure, what if there's another structure right above it? Then it just becomes a big red flag, right? There's no point to take that type of trade. So nice work on identifying that right there, Oscar. And that's a good thing so what Oscar, if you're reading the Zoom over here, Oscar said that he didn't take the trade, but it also told him not to take the news trade because they were going against each other. So smart decision right there, Oscar, on using, those confluences to understand, what's risky and what's not. It all ties back to the sessions right here, right? So it doesn't matter like if you were to do able to do what Oscar did, but realistically, it's like, okay, if there's a sessions here, you should probably just avoid the trade because yeah, there could be a buy here, but there can also be a sell because this is where manipulation happens. So smart move, Oscar. And yeah, that's pretty, that was good that you're able to think on your feet and avoid taking the news trade because you already knew a different trade was running. Other than that, let's see. I think Kevin was asking about the high-low, or sorry, the momentum pullback scalp. There was an entry right here. Yeah, there's another entry. There's so many entries today. I can't take any of them. Okay, so there's another entry right here that hit full TP. We had a sell signal, price came down, retraced right here. Entry would have happened at this level or this level, whichever level you wanted to get in at. Again, it was at a red flag area, so it'd be one that I personally would avoid, but it did play through again. So sell signal, price came down, retracement right there. Entry would have happened right here at this closest level, which is at the 40 mark, and you can see full TP right there. So there's a ton of entries that came up today. We had like a couple momentum pullback scalps. There's two that came up today. Breakout V3s, breakout V3 continuation, breakout V2s, high-low scalp V2s. It's just so you guys can see how the volatility is super high, right? It's above 20. Whenever the volatility is high like this, majority of the strategies are going to hit. It's just going to be clockwork where they keep coming up. Unfortunately for me today, my MT4 is not working, so I can't take any of those. But my Forex trades are working pretty nice. I'm still up about 1,000 for the day right here. So I'm still thinking, well, obviously I'm not thinking because these are all like swing trades. So I'm not thinking to pull them. I'm going to keep holding on to them until I get a reversal. So basically I hold on to them. And then when I want to flip them, then I'll flip them. And they're sitting pretty nice. Let me just take a screenshot of this real quick. If I don't have anything to post, this is what I got to post today. So if I don't got any US30, at least I got my Forex trades running. It's all good. I'll get this figured out by tomorrow. So hopefully I can close this week out some pretty good profits. But this will do for now. All right, so let's go back over here to our charts. It's 7:19 right now. So I guess today is really just going to be analysis day for me because I can't take any trades on my MT4 today. We'll see if there's any more entries here. Okay, at this point right now, you can see price is pretty much consolidating. I would be careful with really any entries at this point. So, and the reason why I say that is because if you look over here, it's pretty easy to spot, but for the people who can't spot it, there's like multiple levels right here, right? I mentioned 2 levels are okay. 3 levels is probably, you don't want to take any trades here. There's 3 levels down here now. So price is going into consolidation range. There's 2 levels right here and then the third one right here. This one over here might even get pushed back a little further if it pushes farther down. But you can see price is starting to consolidate here. And it's not really consolidating. It's more of a range because the ATR is still super high. It's at 21. But for the high-low scalps, it's going to be kind of tricky. If you want to take the trade here, guys, there's a high-low scalp type entry. It's breaking past this lower low. I think, and it didn't actually break past it. So it kind of invalidated it at that point. This level is not useful anymore. This level down below is still useful. So if price breaks past this one, you can possibly take that as, a high-low scalp. So just look for this lower level here. But again, it's kind of tricky because you can see all these levels right here. It's establishing that price is currently in a range. It's really just going sideways between these areas right here. So if I draw a structure from this point to this point right here, this is where the range is currently moving, right? It's in between this area. So if you are looking for a regular, just original high-low scalp, it's going to be off this lower level right here. This level right here is already, you can't use it as a high-low scalp. You can use it for a high-low scalp V2, but not a high-low scalp. But I wouldn't take the high-low scalp V2 because you can see that price is currently in a range. You're supposed to avoid that trade when price is ranging because it's a directional strategy. If price isn't directional, you shouldn't be taking those types of entries. There's a high-low momentum scalp here running, but it's right at the red flag, which is the sessions right here, New York high. There's a ton of entries coming up. The volatility is high. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a high-low scalp. There's a lower low. This buy signal broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2. So this would fill the criteria for a high-low scalp V2, or sorry, high-low momentum scalp. The only problem is that it might have to cut past the sessions right here, which not exactly a good. Yeah, I wouldn't take it. It has to cut past the New York high, which is this green line right here. Red flag for sure. Albert's asking what ATR indicator does everyone use? So there's there's a built-in indicator that you can use for now. I have this indicator right here where it says ATR down below. I'll probably, when I get back from Hawaii, guys, I'll upload it for you guys. I mean, it's already uploaded. I just gotta enable access. But yeah, this one right here is a new indicator. You can use the regular one if you want, like if you just want to see what the ATR is. Just go to your indicators, type in average true range. It's gonna be the built-in indicator right here. So you'll have the same ATR, it's just not going to be as exact. So you can see over here down below, the ATR is still at 21. You can see right here, mine's just a little more exact. It's at 20.8. So it kind of rounds it up to the closest number. And it's not super hard to use either. I just like this one because it's on my chart, like pretty much at all times. So yeah, if you want to add that, Albert, you can add it to your chart. When I get back from a while, I know I'm still working on this indicator, but I'll put it up for you guys just so that you guys can start using it because I think it's super useful to have it on the bottom of your screen pretty much at all times. Yeah, no problem, Albert. All right, so Camo said V3. I don't know if I mean, it's like a doji candle that happened after it. Camo, so I'm not sure. Well, for one, I wouldn't take it because of the sessions again right here. I mean, it's just in a bad area. In general, it's in a bad area. But I couldn't really tell if that candle right there, it's like a little doji candle. I don't know if it was green or red. So I wouldn't guess. I just wouldn't take it. So the high-low momentum scalp just hit TP, guys. Man, there's a lot of entries that are coming up today. There's a lower low here, buy signal broken, close past pivots 1 and 2. This would be a high-low momentum scalp. This is a ranging type strategy, so it's perfect for this type of market condition. The only problem is the sessions right here, which was the red flag. Just saw your message, Maddie. I mean, there's no surprise there, right? Yeah, exactly. There's no surprise there. So guys, there's been an influx of a lot of people passing their Apex accounts. No one in particular, but there's been a lot of people who like don't know how to trade and they've been passing their Apex. It's because like they're YOLOing their account. And I don't ever recommend you guys do that, right? So a lot of people will just over leverage and take like crazy trades and get lucky to pass. But it's not going to work in the long run because you're not going to be consistent to continuously win and win and win. You might have a win here and there, but once you go into that drawdown phase, it really messes with your trade psychology, and the discipline kind of goes out the window. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. My main, like whenever I teach you guys what I'm doing here, I'm teaching you guys basically discipline, right? Because I just showed you that there's like a bunch of entries that have came up, but I'm teaching you guys to avoid certain entries. Like for example, here the high-low momentum scalp came up perfect, but I still would have avoided it because of the red flag. You can see right here, your TP would have gotten hit, but look, as soon as your TP got hit, it came straight back down, right? Because of the manipulation right here. This area right here is not a good area to trade in. You got to understand when to trade and when not to trade. There's going to be hundreds of entries that will come up, but it's really it's like nitpicking the quality over the quantity. It's always quality over quantity on this side. Like we never trade based off quantity. I can take every single entry here and I could probably make a ton of profit, but the odds of me blowing my account are very high, right? If I do that. So for me personally, I like having like maybe 1 or 2 wins a day versus having like 10, 20 wins a day and then blowing my account tomorrow, right? I want to have like just a couple wins a day, consistently grow that account, and then end up with some heavy profits by the end of the week, by the end of the month, and by the end of the year, of course. So all right, my Forex trades are looking great. So at least I made some profit with you guys here, or I am making some profit with you guys here while you guys are catching these US30 trades that we're identifying. Yeah. looking pretty solid right now for the most part. It's a lot of back and forth, but pretty much all these trades are just I mean, it's a swing trade, so I can't really, that's why I never really look at it. I look at it at the end of the day. But since we're on this live session, I keep going back to it because I can't take profits to you guys here on US30 for today. Let's see, Camo said skip that V3, was close to the green line, hard to close green. Yeah, probably a good decision right there, Camo. And that's another thing too, like, you know, being able to have self-control to avoid certain trades. I think that's a skill set of its own. Discipline's like the hardest thing with trading, guys. Like anybody could get lucky winning, but winning consistently, it's not for everybody, right? Because your emotions get involved. You just want to take every single trade. You know, I think that the bad habit that a lot of people get is that when you guys get lucky and you keep getting lucky, you think that that's skill, but it's not really skill because you're just getting lucky, and then you're just getting lucky until you don't get lucky and you blow your account, right? Which is a common issue with a lot of people. You know, we trade with skill here. We don't try to get lucky. We try to trade with precision and ability to really identify what's good and what's not. So again, right here, guys, I wouldn't take any trades in this area because of the sessions. There might be entries that may come up, but like there's a V1 variation pattern here setting up if this closes red. But again, I wouldn't take it because it's in between these sessions right here. If I ever have to go in and try to break through these sessions or get really close to it, odds of me getting stopped out are very likely. So yeah, nothing right there on my end. Nick said, remember when you first started K2 and would mainly call out Forex trades? Good times. Yeah, no. That was back when we used to swing trade and intraday trade. I can never go back to that though, because trading like that is like you have to be on your chart pretty much all day, which would suck because I can't, like, you know, if you go on vacation, like I'm on vacation right now, it would suck because I'd have to be on my computer like every 4 hours. I mean, it was good though. We all made a lot of money trading Forex with me initially. And a lot of people still do. They still apply the same strategies. It's just, it takes a lot more time. It's more work intensive. So like my main mantra is like, you know, work smart, not hard. So like, for example, here for US30, I just trade for about an hour. And then same with my swing trades over here. I just take these and I let them run for the whole day. And then at the end of the day, I'll look to see if I have to make some adjustments. But for the most part, it's looking good. But yeah, it looks like the market here is starting to kind of slow down a bit. So you guys see the ATR down below? It's pretty much doing what we anticipated. It's 7:30 right now, California time. And you can see the ATR here is starting to drop. It was at like 23. It was like at 25, 23, 20. It's back down to like 19. And you're probably going to start to see it drop down even more. So over the next 10, 20 minutes, it's probably going to go down to like 15, if not lower. And the volatility is just going to stay pretty stagnant for the most part. Craig said he got his Maven account, prop account payout yesterday. They scaled it to 5%, traded today and already at 1.5%, which will do for the next payout on the 27th. Nice work, Craig. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you've been pretty consistent, Craig. So just keep up with it. You know, I think you're starting to get your discipline down a lot better. And I think that was your main problem in the beginning. It was really sticking to one thing and like really mastering it. Well, not just sticking to one thing, but sticking to one thing and actually trading it consistently. Yeah, Craig said much better. Yeah, totally different feeling being back in here. Yeah, because I think that's the main problem with a lot of people is that they can't focus on like one thing. They want to trade from strategy to strategy, and they never really get good at anything. And it sucks because you might be at your like turning point where you're about to do really well, and then you switch to something completely new, and then you just basically start over. So no, I'm glad that you found your stride there and that you're trading. You basically trade how I trade. You're a trend trader. You're a trend trader and you use momentum like I do. So, you know, obviously if I've been doing it for years, there's got to be something that works with that style of trading. And a lot of people trade that way too. A lot of people don't use momentum. They just use trend, of course, because they don't have my indicator. All right, so looking at this right here, guys, we currently have price climbing up. We had the news candle right there. I think it was low impact news, so it's not really. Yeah, it was low impact news here, just natural gas stock change. It was negative. This wouldn't be a news type entry that I would personally recommend taking. So looking back at the news entry, guys, looks like the news entry from right here is still, I mean, looks like it finally swung up and hit TP. I don't know if it actually worked out, but let's see, the V1 happened right here. So it actually played out. Maddie, I don't know if did you see this, Maddie? So the news entry right here, this is the entry that I was telling you guys about. It depends on like how low do you want to go for the V1 entry type pattern. I mean, there's different opportunities here that you could have waited for. Price pulled back right here. There was a V1 entry right here. It kind of pulled back like close, like deep in a drawdown, almost a stop loss, but then it swung all the way back up right here. So it was super sideways, but you guys can see that the new strategy here, it still works. It just, you gotta wait for like that really strong pullback, look for the V1 variation type pattern, and then catch the correction back up. There's a couple different opportunities here. This could have been the opportunity for the entry, or the next opportunity could have been when price broke and closed past the sessions right here. So there's two different opportunities here for the news entry. So whenever these entries come up, I'll probably show them to you guys and I'll put them on the chart. But I'm always going to warn you guys that it's a risky entry, because there was the first one right here that Maddie identified, and that could have been a good entry too. The only thing is that the pullback wasn't far enough. Obviously the news candle is right here. I think we might have to set a criteria for retracement, right? Because price came down from this point right here. It was only down like 400 pips. So I don't think that was far enough of a pullback, right? Like 300 pips. You probably have to wait for at least 500. I think that the threshold might be like 500. So once it manipulates 500 pips at least, or 50 points, then you can start looking for any possible opportunity for entry. So, and then again, right here, another opportunity. There's two opportunities, one right there, and then another one right here when price broke past the New York high. Yeah. So pretty much, I mean, almost all the strategies have been hitting today, which kind of just, every time I think about that, I'm like, damn, the one day that my MC4 doesn't work, it's like, I just figured out what the problem was with my MC4, guys. I'm on my hedge account. So my quick trade manager wasn't working. So it's okay. It's too late in the session. I'm not going to log into my FTMO on here. The problem with this here is that like FTMO put me on a new server, which is server 3. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have been on server 3 yet, but there's a new server for FTMO. And yeah, I logged on to server 2 and it didn't put me on the right account. So it basically it kicked me back to my hedge account, and that's why the quick trade manager wasn't working, because I wasn't on FTMO. But it's all good. At least now I know where I made my mistake. And tomorrow I'll be ready to take these US30 trades with you guys. Nice. Yeah, Craig said that's the server he's on. Yeah, I think it's their new server. They're probably consolidating people onto that one server now, because it's probably a bigger server. All right, so you guys can see from the ATR down below, it's doing exactly what we anticipated, right? So I mentioned once it hits 730, the ATR is going to start dropping. It went from 25 to 23 to 20 to now 18, and then possibly down to 15, where it's going to start to slow down a lot. No surprise there, right? We've been trading this market we've been trading it every day, but you guys know that the same pattern just repeats itself. So nice. Yeah, Kenny said he's been on server 3 for a while now. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I haven't used this laptop in well, not for FTMO. So I use this laptop for my hedge account, but I haven't used it for FTMO since like my last vacation, which is a while back. So I haven't updated the servers to server 3. So it's all good. I'm just kind of bummed out that I couldn't take those trades, but it's all good. There's just a lot of good trades. I mean, I'm glad that a lot of you guys here profited. Let's take a look at everybody's profits for the day so far. All right, so we got Cam over here, total profit of 1,996 for the day. All wins. Great work right there, Cam. We got Cam's second account over here, total profit of 1,931. So great work right there, Cam. We got Jonathan here, total profit of 1,040 for the day. All wins there. Nice work, Jonathan. We got Craig here, total profit of 2,500 for the day. All wins right there. Nice work, Craig. And you caught that nice, like, and the trend was hitting. So great work right there, Craig. We got Felix here on his FTMO, total profit of 2,250. Nice work, Felix, on your way up to getting to that next level. We got Vince here, total profit of 1,005 for the day. Nice work, Vince. Great work on that full TP. I see the green strip there on your account. We got Craig's other account here, 2,500. We got Eunice, total profit of 1,004. Looks like Craig, Eunice might have taken that V3 for a partial or one of the entries. This is Craig's main account, 2,500, solid. He was just talking about earlier. We got Kenny here, total profit of 2,760, all wins for the day. And lastly, we got David here with a total profit of 9,215. Nice work, David. All right, guys, so solid profits right there. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. We got Albert here, total profit of 1,475. Nice work, Albert, man. You've been on fire since you rejoined. So keep it up, man. You're doing good. Maddie over here as well in his Apex accounts, total profit of 108 per account. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 600 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. And that's pretty much it. We got Matt over here as well, total profit of 2,424. Man, I'm getting kind of jealous. You guys are killing it. Everybody's doing great today. So I'm glad, I wasn't able to take any of these trades, but I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here are doing great. So as long as you guys are profiting, if somebody's profiting in the group from my analysis, my strategies, whatever it may be, that's a win for me, right? It's all good. I'll make the profit back tomorrow or any of the other days that we trade. So solid work, guys, so far. If there's more profits you guys want to send in, feel free. If there's any questions you guys have, feel free to pop into the chat as well. There's not much else for me to really analyze here because you guys can see how the volatility is starting to die down a bit. I'll continue to stay on the charts for a bit, but you guys can see here that these candles are not looking so great. It's it's a little bit of a flat market now. It's the ATR is high, but the market is kind of like consolidating and ranging from where it's currently at. You can't really see it here too obvious, but you guys can see from these levels down here, it's not looking too great, right? You don't want to trade when there's so many levels down here because you know that once price finally breaks below, it's probably going to fake out. You guys can see there's 4 levels right here, all around the same level, same area. All of these all bunched up. And this is not going to be a good area for you guys to really mess around in. Because if you do see a high-low scalp V2, it's probably going to fake out. It's going to come down. Oh, man, track that. All right, so let's see. We got this right here. It's probably going to come down, come up, come down for the entry, come up, fake out, and come right back up. So you just want to be careful around this area. Whenever you see a bunch of levels all jumbled up and like price hasn't actually broken structure right here, you just want to be careful because you're going to be stuck in that position probably, or it's probably going to reverse on you. Looking over here on our clean chart, let's see. Yeah, I mean, price hasn't broken past the range here. The range has pretty much been solid for the entire session. The 1 hour support level is pretty much the mid level, but price pretty much goes back and forth between the lower level right here, like close to it, might not touch it or get past it, but from there and this upper level right here. So not really too much. Let's see. Dylan's asking, was that a V3 sell? I don't see any V3 sells over here, Dylan. So you, in order for it to be a V3 sell, you would need a sell signal and a red candle after it. So if you're talking about the breakout V3, you would need something like this right here. You need a sell signal, and then you need a red candle right after it. So there's no sell signal here. If it closed, yeah, you'd get it, but there's no sell signal. So like say, for example, there's a sell signal right here, and then you had a red candle, then that'd be a V3, a breakout V3 continuation. But since there's no sell signal here, there's no entry for the breakout V3 continuation. So that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for a sell momentum followed by a red candle. That's confirmation. Look for a green candle. a green buy signal with a green candle after it, another confirmation. You're kind of just looking for the continuation. And then if you want to add something to it, which is like what Maddie's doing, you can do another confluence. You could have a V1 pattern like this, which is a double body rejection off a higher high or a higher low or whatever the high low may be, and then look for the continuation to happen after. Because if you have something like that, it's probably going to hit, right? Like for example, over here, we had the V1 pattern. We had the V1 variation pattern, which is a reversal pattern. It basically established the floor. We had the momentum here, followed by a green candle, straight to TP. Same with this one right here. It's not a clear V1, but this is more of like a V3 variation off the reversal patterns. High with the green candle, followed by a red candle. Red sell signal, followed by a red candle right here. And then obviously full TP right there if you were to take that. So a V2. So let me see. Correction V2. So you're talking about the variation, right? Not the breakout. Because a breakout would be, if you're talking about the two candles, I think there might be a confusion with the strategies. So if you're talking about the two candles, because there's a pattern right here for the two candles, this would be considered, it's a momentum counter scalp. So I don't know if you're confusing the V2 with a counter scalp or if you're talking about the V2 variation, because I got to think of some better names because I know the confusion might, okay, see, it's 1034. Yeah. So this here would be considered, if you're talking about the V2 variation, I don't even remember the V2 variation because we haven't applied it in forever. Let me look it up real quick. Okay. So the V2 variation here is, I mean, first you have to confirm the overall bias. I don't think we really had an overall bias for that. You're looking for basically a high with the green candle and followed by a red candle. Yeah, so if you're applying this, I don't know what the bias is right now. Let me check real quick. All right, so bearish, kind of bearish. For the most part, the lower time frames are bearish. The higher time frames are still bullish. So that's kind of mixed. It's neutral right here for technical analysis. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently bullish right now. And the retail sentiment here is bullish. So it would be a V2 pattern if you're applying the V2 variation, but there's not really much of a bias because you have to have a strong bias for the entry there. So if you're talking about the V2 variation, this are the criteria for it. Confirm overall bias. You can't really confirm that, so that kind of like defeats the purpose of the strategy. So this would be a pattern though. So if you're looking for just the pattern of the V2, this would be a V2 pattern. You have a high with the green candle followed by a red candle. So confirm high low, confirm the high is a green candle, confirm the following candle is opposite basically with little to no wick. So yeah, this could be a V2 pattern, but I wouldn't consider it a V2 variation because the first step hasn't been fulfilled. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you see, you identified it for the most part. It's just the only problem here is that there was no bias. So I mean, so here's the thing, that criteria that we added for the bias, this was a new criteria. Initially, when I first created the strategy, we didn't have this here. The only problem with that is that, like, you know, we started losing trades and we're like, okay, what do we need to add to avoid losing trades, right? To improve on quality. So we added this criteria here. So technically you did identify the proper entry for the pattern. And if you applied it the original way, it would work out because you can see right there was perfect, right? Higher high, followed by an opposite candle. It's basically a weaker V1 because a V1, you're looking for a flat line. Actually, this would be a V1 pattern as well. So this here would be a V1 and a V2. So yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so Dylan said, yeah, just the pattern, not the actual setup, working on identifying the setups. Yeah, it's kind of tricky though because the wick right here is a little big, but it could still meet criteria. I would probably go with the V1 first though. So this here is actually V1 pattern and a V2, but the V1 is stronger. So you have two confluences there for both V1 and V2 and a V3 actually. Basically all variations in one entry right there. And you can see it played out pretty nice. So yeah, no problem. Yeah, Vince said if only we had a strong buy bias, the V1s were hitting today. Yeah. So again, like with Vince, like how he mentioned, you know, there's a bunch of V1 patterns here and they all pretty much hit. The only problem is that there was no bias. So again, if you guys want to apply without the bias, you can apply because the original strategy didn't have a bias. But if you apply with a bias, you're probably going to have a better win ratio, and you're going to be looking on more quality entries. So Kenny said, I don't want to send my profits in anymore because I got my brother in here and I kind of want to keep it private. Yeah, no, it's all good, Kenny. Some people are like that. You know, yeah, there's actually another couple people in here that are in the same situation as you. They got like their family members in here. Like Aaron before, if you guys remember Aaron, coughing Aaron that used to trade with me, he used to like hate posting his profits because as soon as he posted his profits, he said his cousin would ask him for money. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So it's yeah, it's totally understandable, Kenny. But anyways, guys, price is right here ranging. So I'm not really seeing too much happening. It's 7:48 right now. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. The ATR here is starting to die down. So if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't see any other entries here. And again, price is at this area of red flags with just these sessions. So it wouldn't really matter. I wouldn't really recommend taking any trades in this area to begin with. So yeah, if there's any more questions, if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Again, I'm going to showcase your guys' profits at the end of the day. So if you guys want to be on the video, just post your profits up and I'll showcase your profits later when I read out everybody's profits for the profit post for the day. So unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to take anything, but I wasn't able to take anything on US30. But at least my Forex trades here are running pretty decent. So what I'll do here is I'll post up my profits for my Forex trades. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to post it up for my US30 because I didn't take any US30s today. But it's fine. This will do. This will do for now. So, all right, ATR is currently 18 right now. There's not really much direction. Price just keeps going back and forth. So, all right, let me just see if there's anything else here that I need to cover before we wrap this up. But it's not really looking like there's anything else here for me to do or for me to really focus on. So, all right, so here are my profits for my Forex. And I'll just add them over here. So yeah, here's my accounts. So again, like I said, I started this account with 10,000. My AUD USD is up 200, Euro USD is up 500, GBP USD is up 300. So total profit about 1,100 for the day on this specific account. And this is my personal account. So the leverage isn't as high for forex.com. It's regulated. But yeah, I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. 7:50 right now, about 10 minutes till 8. Not expecting much to happen here. If you guys have any questions, I probably won't get to you guys. Well, any questions outside of the live, I probably won't get to you guys until a little later because right after this. So I'll be out in the wilderness for a while before I make it back for any questions. We got some more profits over here from Andreas. Let's see, I'm gonna let this load real quick. The Telegram. So we got Andreas's profits here. They're below up. All right. So Andreas over here is currently up 2,016 for the day. Nice work, Andreas. So you got profits over here from Andreas. And I think that might be it. We got Craig over here. His FTMO live total profit of 940. Nice work, Craig. Yeah, so Craig's done with that account. He's going to get his payout, his refund. Smart move there. definitely recommend you guys do that as well if you guys ever do get funded and get to that point where you're about to get your payout. So, all right, guys, ATR right here is dying down. You can see it's getting closer to 8 o'clock. ATR is now dropping down to 17, getting closer to 15, which means price is not really going to move for the next couple, I guess, hours or so. So this right here, let's see, Dylan's asking. Yeah, so if you're looking at this as a V3 variation, this would have been the entry right here. So not a V3, or sorry, I'm getting them mixed up myself. So this would be a V3 breakout V3. So you had a buy signal here, followed by a green candle. So here's the confluence. There's actually a lot of confluences here, and I would have taken this trade if I had the opportunity. If my MT4 is working, I would have taken this trade, because if you look down here, this is a V2 variation pattern, right? This is a reversal pattern that you were looking at earlier, Dylan. And then after this, we had to follow it up with a breakout V3 pattern, or breakout V3 continuation. So V2 variation right here, which is a reversal pattern from the bottom, it established the floor. Then you had a buy signal right here, followed with a green candle. This would be a breakout V3 continuation. So with that said, you did identify that properly. And you can see right there, this would have went straight up to its full TP for 100 pips. So if I had the opportunity, I would have been in this position, but unfortunately I didn't, not for today. And it was also a high-low scalp. So there's like a lot of entries that came up right here. There was a high-low scalp also. So there's a lower high right here. Price broke and closed past this level. So that'd be a high-low scalp. And there's just a bunch of confluences. So like this entry is just a really good entry overall. You can see how quality it is because there is one entry here for a breakout V3 continuation. Also a high-low scalp. The only thing here would be the red flags that you mentioned. Yeah. So opening price and news price. These, again, these red flags aren't as bad as the other ones, right? So the ones that are really risky that I would 100% avoid would be the sessions. So red line, green line, or you don't see the red line here, but it's going to be a red, purple, and green line. So purple is going to be the Asia high lows, green is going to be the New York high lows, and the red ones are going to be the London high lows. So the red, purple, and green, you for sure want to avoid that. The pink ones are going to be news price, which is kind of okay to trade around that area. It's still risky, but it's not as risky as the sessions because they're just newly established, and opening price as well. So yeah, red flags there. So possible avoidance for those entries. If you want to only go for the really quality entries, the A+ entries, I would probably stick away from those areas, but sometimes you can't stick away from them because they're going to be right in between all the trades. So yeah, if you want to take something that's like quality, but not 100%, you can still take those trades, but I for sure would avoid trades like down here at the purple, green, and red lines. So a lot of good entries today, guys. Looks like pretty much majority of these hit, and unfortunately my MT4 wasn't in working progress, but I'll fix it by tomorrow. Well, I'll fix it right now, actually, so that by tomorrow, I'll be ready to take some trades. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. You guys can see the ATR is getting lower and lower. It's pretty much, there's no surprise here. We know how the market moves as it gets closer to 8 o'clock. So we expected this to happen. Went from 25 to 20, 18, now 16, down to 15. So I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, that's going to be about it for today. If you guys have any more questions or if you guys have more profits to post up, we got Felix. Felix over here actually took that V3 continuation. Nice work, Felix. Total profit of 3,260 for the day. So as you can see, everyone's taking these trades here and they're hitting pretty nicely. So I think that's about it, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow.